Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. You just saw her. She's she's already on camera. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Daytime Ottawa. Hope you had a fabulous Thanksgiving long weekend. I am back with Mom in the Know, Julie Finley here joining me on the show. How are you? Come on in. Come on, you can come a little closer. There you go. Good to see you.
So good to see you. Happy again Thanksgiving, and I hope you had a great weekend. A lot of eating, a lot of walking, talking, family.
Not a lot of walking.
Okay.
It's a little rainy.
Oh,
you know, not that I didn't get out at all, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it was. But you know what was nice is you know, when it's rainy in the fall, it's cozy time.
Yes.
Right? Finally got to fire up the wood stove at the cottage and feel cozy and had
Got your favorite sweater out.
Got my favorite sweater. Exactly.
That is so
exactly.
true. Well, how much turkey did you have? Are you done with it?
I am not done with turkey. I could
Okay.
eat turkey all week long.
Me
I love it. I don't
too.
know what it is, but it's honestly one of my favorite meals. We hosted on Saturday, had turkey dinner at our place with family over, and then our friends across the lake invited us on Sunday for another wonderful turkey dinner.
So
it was great.
nice.
Yeah.
We had similar, the same.
Nice.
Well, don't worry, because I'm going to turn your turkey into a couple of different things. We've got a turkey sandwich, which everybody loves,
Nice.
but I'm doing a cranberry orange relish. So we're going to make that.
Okay.
But first, what we're going to make is a turkey sheet pan dinner. So
Okay.
super easy. You're going to get your veggies that maybe you have left over or you're just loving anyways, and they're super affordable right now.
Right.
I've got a cup of green beans.
Yeah.
I've got a cup of corn. I took our butternut squash again.
Nice.
And I took 2.5 cups of that and 2 leeks. And I've chopped it all up, and I actually roasted ahead of time just so this can be ready for you guys.
Right.
And you put it in the oven for 400 for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Until it's
Easy
nice and
enough.
roasted, which is great because what you're going to do is now make the sauce. So I've got 3 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
I'm just going to whisk in very quickly a cup of flour where it'll all meld together. I've already chopped up 4 cups of turkey. So that's where you're going to be.
Okay.
But
That's this here. That's what I've got here. Okay.
I think I might have to make another turkey. Turkeys
not?
are going to go on sale, and I
was
have to
just
tell
gonna
you.
say that.
Yeah. So
We only have one of those small bar fridge size freezers.
okay.
So
okay.
I have to be so careful when things go on sale because, you know, Monica and I, we do sort of the alert system. We have a freezer problem.
Yes,
Alert system, right?
Because you're both coming home with stuff in the
With
freezer.
lots of stuff.
Okay, I just added in some sage, rosemary, and now I've got a little bit of thyme.
Okay.
Fresh thyme, if you're using fresh, a little bit more. If it's dry, a little bit less. So
Gotcha.
you've got that. I'm going to put some in there, and then what I've done is 4 stalks. 4 cups.
Listen, I speak Julie. We
yes,
could have gone with 4
exactly.
stalks of cups. I would have been
I
fine.
Said, 4 cups of stock, just pour it in, and this is your sauce. A little bit of flour, a little bit of spices, you've got your butter, and then you've got 4 cups of stock.
Okay.
And I'm just going to keep stirring that a tiny bit.
All right.
Turn up a little bit. You bring it pretty much to a boil until it thickens.
Okay.
And then you've got that set. But what I was going to say about the turkey, a little quick tip.
Yeah.
I made the easiest turkey. I am going to post about it because Chef Garland from Absinthe, Lucky's in my family.
Oh,
but he showed me the easiest way. On a cookie sheet with your roasting pan, just set your bird together. You could stuff the inside if you want. You just season it. You have your oven at 400 for a good 45 minutes just to really heat it up.
Okay.
You don't need to cover your turkey. You put it in on the rack on the baking sheet, turn it down to 300, tell how many hours you need to cook, how many pounds you have. It was beautiful every time. I made 3 turkeys this weekend.
Really?
And it was so easy.
Holy jumping.
Yes,
How many people did you know? Was that different days?
Different days.
Okay,
So we did the cottage, we did like friends and family that don't have anywhere to go. I always love doing that. And then my family, which is grandiose too. But they pretty much cleaned me up. But I was like, take any turkey. And then this morning I woke up, I'm like,
Not all the turkey.
Not all the turkey.
I need 2 cups.
Okay, so now this is thickened up. I'm just going to put the 4 cups of turkey in here. You're going to have you've already had this in at 300.
Yeah.
400 for 20 minutes. I'm going to put it down to 350. I'm going to pour this on top.
Really?
Yes. You're just going to put it in the oven. Sorry, I just started cooking something on there.
That's all right.
It's not
Just
used
a
to my
drip.
stove,
It's all
just
right.
a
It's
drip.
okay.
And then you're just going to mix this in. And I've just got the little finished product there. I brought the whole sheet pan for everybody.
So what did you do for the crust?
The crust is nothing. Oh, yeah, I lied. Okay, we got one more step. We got the crust.
We got one more, okay.
Okay,
right.
so thank you.
Should I turn that off? Okay.
Yeah. So what we have
Safety
for the crust is, let me just open this up.
And you're just going to lay that on top?
Yes. You're going to lay it on top.
Oh.
What you could do, I'm going to lay it on top, but what I did for the one that I made for you guys is I actually cut it into shapes.
Oh, okay.
And then I put it on top. But really, you're going to take this out of the freezer puff pastry, and you're just going to unroll it onto the pie. The sheet pan.
This could be fun to watch, folks.
I know. I think I let it thaw a little.
Everybody at home.
I let it thaw a little bit too much. Don't you worry. It's
Listen,
so easy.
it's going to be fun.
While you're peeling this, do I have time to do a little bit? Start another one?
Yeah. You go ahead. Let me do this. Let me do this.
We're doing it together.
Look at the teamwork is the dream work
and then
here.
you just take that off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You stretch it out.
Yeah. Easy.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Then you're just going to put that on top. You can cut in little pieces because it does puff out and up.
Right.
And you're just going to put a little, brush it with a little bit of butter. You're going to put it in.
Love it.
It looks prettier when it's done, folks at home, but you know because there is part of it right there. So we are going to go on to our sandwiches. So
what do we got over here?
Are going to brush any type of panini bread you like. I've got a really nice oil, but I put the brush
somewhere.
That's
so
not
I'm just
here.
Going to pour it on
turn
here
this
a
little bit.
Which one is this?
Sure.
Let me see.
So you're going to do that.
It is. I should know which one it is. I've been doing this long enough.
Okay, if you light me on fire, we're in big trouble.
No, I wouldn't light you on fire.
But let's go into the relish. So really what I've done is I've taken a tablespoon of clementine rind.
There's no spoon in there, is there?
There's no spoon in there. You can tell everybody at home. I did turn it on with the spoon in. It was a bit tricky.
We were testing to make sure it was plugged in, and there happened to be a spoon in there, so there was a bit of panic.
Yes, a little bit of panic. So
studio.
I had 5 clementines.
Okay.
I cut them all up. I've used half to put in here. If you don't have clementines, 3 oranges is great too.
Okay.
And then we're just going to put in fresh cranberries.
Love it.
And we're going to stop. Me and cranberries, we just fall all over the place.
You're not getting along well
We're
this season?
just trying to run away from me all the time.
Well, you're about to blend them. I would too.
I know.
I mean,
and you're just
I
gonna
can't
give it a
blame.
little pulse. Look at the colors in there.
Nice.
It's perfect.
It's screaming fall in Canada right
fall.
there.
And then you're just going to do that a bit more.
Okay.
We're just going to put this in here after, well, actually, I'll put this here so everybody can see.
Okay.
I'm going to pour the rest of the cranberries in
do
here.
The chef's
actually,
check on this.
I'm going to blend them all. I'm going to blend them all.
You're going to blend them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can vary it because I've already done it already. I know.
You are crazy.
Foodlandontario.ca, just so you don't feel like I've sent you the wrong way.
By the way, that's where, remember I sent you a note and said, I'm looking for the recipe, and then I remembered on the weekend, I did the squash casserole.
Wasn't that delicious?
Fantastic.
Cheesy squash casserole. I'm telling you, they have
really
got
good.
all the best recipes.
Okay, you know what we're going to do?
We're going to put it together later.
Well, yeah, and I have good news for our viewers. I mean, they're being incredibly entertained right now, and they're thinking, wow, Julie's segment's probably running out of time. Don't worry. Julie's coming back after the break. We're going to finish this relish here.
Yes.
And we've got a couple of other secrets for you to share when it comes to your leftovers. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Unbelievable. You just never see that. What a shot.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
At Celebrate Ottawa, we love showing you something a little different. We showcase remarkable people highlighting the city's diversity in arts, culture, sports, and nature. We will show you features that prove Ottawa is a vibrant and exciting city. We'll entertain you and we'll even teach you new things. Join me, your host, Lila Grind, as we explore and celebrate Ottawa.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Join us for Season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
Just testing, Julie. This one's good, and there's...
Sometimes things do happen. Those, if they're not put in properly,
well,
you could have shot them right at me.
Oh, my goodness. Never point this at friends, family members, or guests if you're... hosting a television show. There's my piece of advice. We're working on the relish still over here.
So what we've done already, if people are just tuning in right now, is we've put in 250 grams of fresh cranberries.
Okay.
We've put in 2.5 cups of peeled and coarsely chopped clementines.
Okay.
So, or you can use oranges as well. I'm also going to add some of the pecans in.
Okay.
And a cup of sugar. And I'm just going to blend that together because that is going to meld together with the cranberries.
All right.
And we're going to have it in the fridge for about a half an hour.
Okay.
And that's okay that I did that because I wanted to do it earlier. There you go.
That's all right.
Oh yeah, this thing.
Get there.
You know what? If you're going to invest in a few things in your kitchen, you want to get the blender that works for you. Not the 3 blenders that one works for one works for another.
Right.
I have to say this blender does it for us all,
Okay, I was
which
going to
is
ask
fantastic.
you if that one is
Yes.
one of the 3-in-1.
Yeah, so of course you can leave out the pecans if you prefer. You can make it more chunky if you prefer, however you'd like your cranberry relish.
Okay.
But the whole idea is use up those cranberries that you have. And again, if you don't want to use up those cranberries, they do stay in your freezer.
Oh, look at that.
Thank you.
Look at
And we're just
that.
going to mix this together. So we've just put a little bit of nice oil. I actually put a blood orange red oil on that.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
now going to
Okay.
make my sandwich. So Ontario goat's cheese. You're going to put some of that
so
on.
good.
And I'm an overfiller.
Okay.
So
that's okay.
That's
we
okay
allow
for a lot
that
of
here
people.
on this show.
Yeah.
Other shows, they won't allow
No,
that,
they
but
won't
we
allow that.
do.
We're going to add our turkey on. So if light or dark, you got to take everybody's order. I have the rest of these oranges, so I'm going to blend it in. So look how much relish this makes.
No kidding.
It's amazing.
How long would that last in the fridge?
Oh my gosh, probably a week.
Oh,
A little over a week
that's
for
good.
sure. And then you could have it in the freezer as well. So I didn't even make another one.
Should I take that? I was going to say, should I take that off though?
Yeah, because
I turned it off.
Did you?
So that's,
okay.
that's good.
Well, then why don't I just put a little bit of relish on?
Well, yeah, let me slide it over here. And there you go. There you
So
go.
we don't
Sorry about
touch it.
that, Jules. She's
We
just
got
going for the
excited.
close-up, and here I slid it over too quickly.
Okay, do you want me to put it back over, Jules? Then we're going to put this right on top. And you've got yourself your sandwiches. And then what you could do is just press down on it so it all squishes together. Or if you have a sandwich maker, a little panini maker,
yeah, for sure.
you can stick it in there too.
Okay.
So you've got that. So I'm going to make more for everyone.
All right.
But that is super
We're putting that
easy.
aside, and we're moving over here. What are we doing over here? Yeah, they're all off.
Pumpkins. Always and still, there will be pie pumpkins in your stores.
Yes.
And they make amazing pumpkin filling that can be in your freezer for up to a year. So empty your freezer, make it all pumpkin. No, I'm just kidding. If you want pumpkin pie, if you want pumpkin cookies, pumpkin loaf, pumpkin soup, again, Foodland Ontario has all those amazing recipes.
Fantastic.
But what I've already done is I've pureed one of these. So you're literally just cutting it open. You can even chop it up any which way you want.
Okay.
You're going to take the seeds out. You're going to put it on your stove with water to cover it to boil. And you're literally going to boil it until you can pierce through it.
Okay.
So about 20, 25 minutes. Then you're going to get your blender that you love. Oh, mine's a little tippy. And then you're going to put everything in, skins included.
Really? Skins
included.
Okay, I didn't realize
no
that.
No water, just the skins
Nice.
and the flesh. And you're going to blend it. And then to even get more water on, you're going to put it in a sieve and you're going to put it over top of a little pot. And you're going to wait. And then that is your pumpkin filling. So So I've already made 2 pies, and I still have this much left.
Wow. All right.
So I'm going to take a cup of that, and I'm going to add it to our pumpkin spice cookies with cream cheese frosting.
Oh my gosh.
So that is there.
Okay.
You are going to add brown sugar, white sugar.
Into the dry
right into
or
the
right
wet.
into here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
both sugars?
Both sugars.
Okay.
Yeah. That's been happening with my white sugar lately.
It's all right. It's okay. We got all the tools we need here. Yeah.
And then while you're doing that, I'm going to add in the dry ingredients here, which is pumpkin spice, 2.5 teaspoons. Again, pumpkin spice is a mixture of what you would like.
Like clove and cinnamon.
Exactly, cinnamon. You can put allspice in it. You can put nutmeg in it. I've got a teaspoon of baking powder, baking soda, a bit of salt. You are now going to put in the cup of, half cup of raisins.
Oh, raisins,
and half cup of almonds.
Nice. Gotcha.
And we are just going to blend this together.
Okay.
Dry and wet. I'm not sure why I brought my blender. I guess I thought it would be fun.
I don't know.
Well, you had a chance.
Well, it could get messy.
Yeah, actually. It could get messy. I'll just put this together.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and I feel like
anyway. It doesn't.
I feel like I'm that Muppet in the kitchen. It's kind of fun. You're going to just mix that in together, and that is your cookie dough. And it's a great dough. You're just going to take a tablespoon. Your oven's going to be at 350, and it makes about 40 tablespoon cookies.
Okay.
So great to have as a snack on the go. Or what it's great to have is getting ready for the upcoming new season that we're jumping right into.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Before you talk Halloween,
okay.
Can I just say how shocking it was to go into a store recently and see Christmas already?
No.
Can we pump the brakes, Home Sense?
Yes.
I wasn't even going to say their name, but I'm calling you out, Home Sense. Just pump the brakes, man.
I'm going to let you have more fun than this.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to let you start decorating because
I'm
that's
gonna ice these.
Yes. You're going to ice these. So I gave you could throw a couple right here.
All right.
And then you're just going to decorate them.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But this, of course, is a little harder to blend, but it just is blend and go.
You're back on in a couple of weeks. Are we going to do Halloween?
Yes. Let's have a Halloween party.
I would love to have
but I'm going to, I've got some really good, you know what, you got to feed those ghouls before they get out the door.
Oh,
so I've got some, I've got some good recipes for that.
For the ghouls, I love it.
And then candy all you want.
Apologies to Julie's family. You are the ghouls.
You've met them? You know they are.
Listen, I love your family.
Although I have to say they're taller. So other things I want to just say to families right now is you're saying put the brakes on. Get outside. I saw so many families walking and collecting leaves. You can use so many things for leaves, so many crafts you could do. You could paint with them, stamp with them. Remember, we had a chance, and we didn't get a chance to show you, but it just made me think of it. You can make your own leaf family.
That. So maybe we'll do a little bit more of that too next time you're on. Listen.
I've got even googly eyes is going to be it.
All right. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this. Speaking of googly eyes.
I belong here.
You may think I don't fit in.
That I don't look the part.
But to me, curling is more than a sport.
It's my community.
Together, we can sweep away the barriers.
Create spaces where we all belong.
And experience the joy of curling.
I belong here.
We belong here.
We unite, and united we curl.
I'm Gagweg. My name means everything.
Tom Longboat.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Lombo was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
The way I kill, my skill sharpen, cause I've been here sharpening.
What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Morris, aka your favorite light skin, and you're gonna check out my performance on Encore Ottawa 3 coming up this week. Let's go.
All again, murderation, 911, call it in. Me, I murder every.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. My goodness, I've been covering the Signatures handmade market for so many years, but surprised to see they're celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. So it is a huge year. They've got lots happening, and they are down at a great venue. I'm joined by show manager Christine Metchu. Welcome, Christine. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I mean, I can't believe it's 40 years. So tell us a little bit about the history behind this show.
Yeah, so the show was founded by John Ladusau 40 years ago. The show opened. He's an artisan in his own right. He's a glass blower. And this year's 40th anniversary of the show in Ottawa. We still do shows across Canada, but this show specifically is the 40th anniversary.
And I think it's exciting because, if you think back to John, beginning that in the early days, he was a glass blower, I believe, exactly. Right? Back in those early days. I mean, how many artisans do you think they would have had compared to today? I can't imagine too many.
Difficult to say. I definitely wasn't around back then.
I was. Thanks a lot, Christine.
No, but I'm not sure how many they had back then, but this year we have around 125 artisans at the show, and from all different categories. So we have, wood craftsmen, we have glass blowers still to this day, we have jewelers, we have fine artists, we have photographers. It's really a wide range of all local talent.
Yeah, is there any criteria that you have? Like, do artisans have to sort of apply to become part of the Signatures team?
Yes, every artisan has to apply. There's certain criteria, specifically our main one is that has to be handmade goods made in Canada.
Okay.
So we're still here to support, that's the mission from the beginning, and it's still the mission today, to support local Canadian artists and give them a platform to sell and kind of expose the public to their works.
Well, speaking of local, you've partnered up with some great local businesses. Let's talk about that. I think you have, a winery, a distillery, a brewery. Walk me through. Yeah,
exactly. So as part of the big 40th anniversary celebration, we wanted a shop, sip, and savor theme for it, so to kind of showcase all the different elements of the show. And as part of that, we've partnered with some local distilleries, breweries, that kind of thing. So we have Overflow Brewery that will be doing some draft beer. And then we also have Dunrobin Distillery. They'll be doing some pre-made cocktails as well as a served mixed cocktail at the bar on site. And then we also have Quesadilla Winery.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Yeah. And then I know you have some local musicians coming as a part of this. Is this something new this year?
Yeah, specifically for this event, we wanted it to be big, a big celebration. So we partnered with the Ottawa Grassroots Festival to have live music each night of the show.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was unique because when I've been to the show so many times, I don't recall music. So this is obviously special to the 40th year. You brought some items along with you here. Let's talk about what we've got in front of us here.
A couple of our artisans that are participating this year. So we have Vintage Pixie Studio, Leslie Bailey. She's created this beautiful felt art, and she also does these lovely little statues.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they're very cute. It's whimsical, it's fun, it's different, and that's something that's, really highlight our show. We want things that are different and unique in their own way.
Well, and just to go back to this piece, this is, you said, felting?
Felt,
That is so cool. Yeah. I love the way it makes it three-dimensional, right? Using felting like this in this manner.
No, exactly. It gives it texture, it's colorful, it's fun.
Awesome. What else do we have in front of us here?
And then we have Sprucewood Handmade Cookie Company. So that is run by Chef Mark Pollard. So he is also participating as part of that opening night reception. He'll be helping to prepare some of the food along with our other gourmet food artisans. But he sent along a whole variety of his different cookies that he does today. So he does both sweet and savory. So if ever you want like a little cocktail cookie, he has them that as well.
Idea.
And then he just launched also some holiday ones.
Oh, very good, very good. Opening night's pretty special as well. So
Yes,
if people
it is.
attend opening night, what have you got planned for that?
So if you attend opening night and you come after 5 p.m., you get a complimentary drink with your ticket from the bar. So that can be something from any of our alcohol sponsors.
Okay.
You'll also get to experience the live music, and you will get all of that food that we'll have on offer as part of the Shop, Sip, and Savor.
I think what makes Signature's markets really unique too is that the artisan's right there, right? The maker's right in front of you. Has that always been the case? Was that part of the mandate that, you know, it's not just going to be, you know, somebody selling somebody else's stuff, so that, you know, we as attendees can talk to the artisan and the maker?
Exactly. So we're not really, we don't hire and we don't bring on companies, we bring on artisans.
Right.
So that is really a foundational element of the show. Those artisans are there, they're there to talk about their work. A lot of them can create custom pieces. If that's something that people are interested in getting, they can always go and talk to them and say, hey, I love this, can you do this? And oftentimes they're more than willing to do stuff like that.
I mentioned a great venue. Tell everybody at home where you're at this year.
We're going to be at Aberdeen Pavilion at Lansdowne Park.
It's a great spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
right?
is.
Because you can make a day out of it. You know, if you wanted, you know, to grab a bite to eat too, go down along Bank Street. Something else you're doing this year, I don't know if you've done it in past years, but you can pay once and then you can attend all 4 days. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's pretty common across all of the shows that we do at Signatures. But yeah, if you come on day one and you loved something you saw but maybe missed out, didn't buy, and you want to come back the next day, you don't have to worry about admission. Just come on right back.
And you can do a tour, right? I mean, if you've already been and you want to bring family and friends, perhaps you have people from out of town, you know where you're going. We're just looking at some of the shots here. That just shows you, I mean, how packed it is. Do you have to turn artisans away because of how popular you've become?
Definitely sometimes we do get so full, especially in specific categories where it is a lot more popular. We get a lot of artisans applying. It is quite limited, the space that we have. So.
Right. How did you get involved, by the way, with Signatures?
I have done events for several years now. I used to work for a venue, and actually Signatures does a show at EY Center every year. So I met them while working at EY Center.
How many different events do you do in cities? I mean, Ottawa, you do what? Twice a year?
Technically 3 times. So we do have a spring show as well.
Oh, right. Yes.
But yeah, we do 2 fall shows here, 1 in the spring, and then we do shows across Canada. So Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. We do some down in Toronto for wholesale shows.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a whole variety.
Well, yeah, and it's been just an amazing success story and a great opportunity for artisans and makers, because oftentimes they won't find these opportunities for themselves, right? It's challenging being an artisan.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I mean, that's really our platform, is just to, like, you know, bring awareness to that community and expose them to everybody and, like, let everyone see this beautiful work that they create.
Tell everybody at home the dates and times when they can expect to go.
Okay, October 19th to 22nd. The weekdays we're open from 10 till 9, Saturday 10 till 6, and then Sunday 10 till 5.
Terrific. Christine, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having
Really
me.
appreciate it. By the way, you can visit the Signatures website, signatures.ca. You can get your tickets in advance, right?
Yep,
through
tickets
there.
in advance.
There you go. Tickets in advance through that. Don't go anywhere, because we're talking about one of my greatest passions, and that is curling, but in particular, wheelchair curling, and a great opportunity for you to learn at the RA Center. We'll be right back after this.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Celebrate Ottawa returns this fall with brand new episodes starting October 15th. The show features people, places, and events that make Ottawa such a vibrant place to call home. Join us Sunday evenings at 7.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
Ladies, leave your man at home tonight.
Hi, this is Dominique Orley. I'm a part of Encore 3, and be sure to catch my set this week.
We are going downtown, leaving out all your stress and your sorrow.
Welcome back to the show. As I said, I was just telling my next guest, I started curling back in 2018, and I became pretty quick off the bat obsessed with the game of curling. I watch it on TV. I play about 3 times a week, and I'm sure my next guest play maybe a little bit more than me. I'm joined by Doug Morris, athlete and coach. Welcome. Great to have you here, Doug. And Elaine Brimacombe, volunteer at the RA Center's curling program. Welcome back, Elaine. Great to have you here, too. We're here to talk about a special program that you have, a 10-week program. But, Elaine, before we get to that, I want to talk about curling in general and what brings people to the sport, because I think it's becoming more and more accessible, which is exciting news, too, right?
Yeah, I think one of the great things about curling, well, there's 2 great things. It's a very social game. You can start at any age, and it's adaptable. So you can start when you're 8 years old, and you can be out there curling for a lifetime, or you can do an adult learn to curl daytime program where a lot of the people are well into their 60s, right? Learning how to curl, and then we have wheelchair curling at the RA as well.
Yeah, and that's exciting news, right? Because you renovated, you took over the hockey rink, is that right?
Yeah. So the curling club took over the hockey rink. Hockey's gone, and then they completely renovated the community space. So we call it a community space. It's barrier-free and gender-neutral.
Right.
Yeah.
Doug, let's talk about how did you get into curling? When you told me 17 years ago? What was your inspiration?
Well, I was looking for something to do, and I saw this commercial on TV. It was about a Olympic coin, and it showed a wheelchair curler. And I said, that looks fun, because I've always liked the idea of curling. And so I started asking around, and they told me about this program at the RA that they had. So I went there and tried it once, and I was hooked.
Really?
I joined a team that same year, and I was out doing competitions that same year. Yeah.
To what level have you gone to now as a competitive curler?
I have gone to the nationals twice, and that's all pretty much where you can go, unless you're on Team Canada.
Right.
Where some of my friends are.
You're holding quite a long stick there.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, because that's obviously unique in the size of it, because I guess the good news is if you have mobility issues and you're not in a wheelchair, you can also use the stick delivery as well. Mm-hmm. But are there any differences in the rules or the sport itself when it comes to wheelchair curling, Doug?
Well, we don't have any sweeping in wheelchair curling. Right. We have to deliver the rock from behind the hog line. So when you have a stick this long, you have to sit pretty far back behind the hog line.
Right.
You just have to make sure it doesn't cross it when you throw it.
Okay.
This stick is 7 foot 4 inches long, and then there's the head on it. It's pretty much the maximum that you're allowed to use. It's carbon fiber, so it's very light.
Right.
And yeah, it has this self-delivery head on it. You just put it on the rock, and as you throw it, it puts the turn on it.
Right.
So you throw this way for an out turn and this way for an in turn.
So do you move your arm at all? It really does the work on its own?
It does the work on its own, yeah.
Okay.
And you can adjust the rotation with this little screw on the back here. If the screw is out, the rock will have more rotation. And if you put it in, it'll have less rotation.
And I noticed too on the delivery in wheelchair curling, do you often have somebody behind you? Is that right?
Yeah, what I usually do is if I'm doing a light throw, like a draw, I can do it on my own. But if I'm throwing a takeout, like a heavy weight, I have somebody come behind me. If it's a wheelchair curler, they'll just push themselves against my chair. If it's an able-bodied curler, they will put usually their foot behind my wheel.
Okay.
Because when you push really hard, the wheel will slip on the ice, right?
I can imagine. And it is slippery. Elaine, let's talk about that 10-week program and what that entails.
Yeah, so thank you. So the RA Center is going to be offering a 10-week Learn to Curl wheelchair curling program. Fortunately for the RA Center, they received a grant from Curling Canada. And so for a 10-week program, it'll cost $50 per person for a 2-hour. So 10 weeks, 2 hours each Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 with instructors like Doug, and if all our instructors are certified coaches. Yeah, and we're really excited about it.
Have you got your season up and going yet at the RA Center?
Well, I was supposed to be curling today, but I'm here.
What have I done to you, Elaine? Oh my goodness.
Nope, that's okay. And so tomorrow will be my first game. Yeah.
Still positions available? I mean, other programs that are available? Do you have a Learn to Curl on the go as well there?
There's a daytime Learn to Curl that's open for if people want to register. And I think the evening is full, but they're taking a wait list.
Doug, when people see, people like yourself, and they see the Olympians, Paralympians curling, and they think, oh my goodness, there's no way I'm ever going to get to that level of expertise. But advice for somebody that is thinking to himself, well, maybe I want to try it. I don't know. I watch it on TV. Maybe that's not for me. What would you say?
I say just come out and try it. See if it's for you, if you can do it well. For me, that's exactly what happened. I just came out and tried it. I had some pretty good results right off the top. I was able to get the rock all the way to the other side.
That's a good sign, yeah.
And I was even able to do a takeout. So and of course that was it. I was hooked. But yeah, come out and try it. It's a great sport. What I find for me, as a person who uses a wheelchair, is that the winters are very long here in Canada, and it always gives me something to look forward to.
I couldn't agree more. It's true. Just as the season starts changing, I don't have that thought to myself anymore when I go, oh, here we go, winter's coming, and now I'm like, yes, winter is coming. I've got curling just around the corner. Elaine, people have to pre-register, I imagine, and how do they go about doing that?
Yes, we'd love them to pre-register, and they can do that any day this week by phoning the RA Center or going online. And if they can't get in or they can't get through, then come on Saturday and we'll get them registered for the program. We're very flexible.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of what you guys have done at the RA Center. As I said, I'm part of another club, but I've always said to everybody, all clubs are great clubs.
Yes.
And that this new program is just an absolute game changer. Thanks to you both. Really appreciate it.
We're looking forward to it.
Again, visit the website or visit them on Saturday, 12:45. We'll be right back after this.
On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, we encourage Canadians to pause and remember all that veterans have sacrificed for us. Lest we forget.
I don't care what the law is. I will never be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Real men would rather sell you across the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run.
I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
No! Just get her into a boat. No! Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
On Rogers TV.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. Back to talk about such an important topic, and you've probably heard it in the media. We've been talking about it for so many years here in Ottawa, and it's happening in other cities across the country as well, and that is a housing affordability crisis. My next guest is the president of the Centretown Community Association, Mary Huang. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Derek. Great to be here.
Mary, first of all, let's talk about the Centretown Community Association and the role that you feel it can play in helping with affordable housing and getting that awareness and that message out.
We actually started a housing affordability working group about 2.5 years ago. Okay. And myself and Danielle Weissman are co-chairing that, and we had Brenda Knight as well. And although she's kind of stepped back to facilitate it because she's on Ottawa People's Commission, and we have other community associates coming to us, and including Marty Carr when she was Alta Vista Community Associate President. So we bring up issues and bringing speakers to educate people on affordable housing and how it works, what's needed to get it done, and start conversations about how can we make it more easier to do, and trying to push for advocacy to all 3 levels of government for funding to get them done.
Yeah, and you know what I love that you've done? You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. There are other great examples out there. Let's talk first of all the example out of the United Kingdom that you and your group have looked at. Tell me a little bit about that.
In the United Kingdom, there is an initiative called community-led housing. Okay. And what they did is the UK government funded about £4 million, which is about $6.5 million a few years ago, for a combination of UK co-housing network, UK cooperative network, and UK community land trust. I see. As well as at the time they had a development trust, but I think has since dropped off. But they started a bunch of hubs to help capacity building for groups and for pre-development work, and some of them went on and applied to their housing scheme, which I guess is equivalent to our CMHC funding. Okay. And I know one got funded, so they did. I can't remember whether the rental or the ownership, they had both. One was 80% of market, and the other was 90% of market. So it's a little bit more affordable.
When you look at the city of Ottawa in general and how we're tackling the housing crisis, what are we missing? What do you think the greatest problem is?
Well, essentially, the federal government got out of the housing, building social housing about 30 years ago, and they download to provinces, which the Ontario province downloads to municipalities. Right. But the city of Ottawa actually had the cities had actually the least funding of all levels of government, and they have the biggest, this very large portfolio of what they're trying to achieve. There's over 12,000 people on the wait list right now, I believe, the last time I checked. Yeah. And that's both singles and households, so that's quite significant.
You mentioned co-housing or community housing a moment ago. What does that entail exactly?
Co-housing tend to be more from a Danish model. Okay. So it's usually more funded privately, although the Danish government do help fund them as co-ops.
Is this kind of like communal housing in a sense? It's kind
of housing with community. Okay. So it's a started principle in the 60s. It takes a village to raise a child. Right. So they started from that kind of principle. So it's with private unit, a lot of community spaces. Where community housing are more social housing, like Ottawa community housing, is social housing that's subsidized by the government. Right. And the bottom 20% 40% usually cannot afford to pay for housing at the market. So they need help, significant amount of help. But even now, with the rise of housing, even the people that's in earning regular wages are finding it challenging to find housing at a reasonable price.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at some, if I look at a wage of, say, $60,000, I mean, if you're making $60,000 a year and you're living on your own, the average one bedroom being $2,058 now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost impossible, Mary.
No,
and $60,000 should be a decent living. I mean, you're not living in luxury. I'm not talking about that, but that should be a decent living for somebody.
Yeah, it's a fairly decent living. So if you're a couple, you can manage, but a single, a couple each earning $60,000, you can manage. But a single person, 60, or like a new teacher, anything like that. It doesn't make, the numbers doesn't work. So some of the nonprofit housing do have what they call market rent housing,
right.
But it's based on Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation average market rent,
right.
Which includes a lot of units that's been rented for a long time. So that is, I actually live in an average market rent at CCOC, Central Town Citizen Ottawa Corporation, and it's about $1,650. Range, so that's more reasonable. New builds are actually even higher. There are a lot of new builds that's getting rental construction financing initiative are pricing at $2,400 and $2,850 for a 2-bedroom.
Right. I've got about 60 seconds. I just want to touch on one more thing, Mary, and that is this idea of converting, office space to residential spaces. We've seen a couple of them happen here in Ottawa. Are you encouraged with progress in that?
I think so, and I also see Calgary's, which they funded affordable housing conversion. It's not that simple, it's not that cheap, and it needs to the right floor plan to make it work. But it's one way to revitalize our downtown right now. With the government on 3 days a week, it's pretty quiet at times.
Right. Yeah.
So we need to do more live, work, play type situation.
Yeah, exactly. And my only concern about those conversions, as you said, is the expense. Right, that can be, and can you turn that into affordable housing because of the expense that it costs, to bring it to?
It won't be affordable unless the government funds it to be affordable.
Right.
And Calgary created a $75 per square foot incentive, and maybe Ottawa can look at something similar.
Are you listening, Ottawa? I know city councillors are watching, right? Mary, no, but a big thanks to you and the entire association. I know you've worked incredibly hard on these initiatives, and appreciate your time today. We'll be right back after this.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university, so they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Join us for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
The way I kill my skill sharpen, cause I've been here sharpening.
What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Morris, aka your favorite light skin, and you're gonna check out my performance on Encore Ottawa 3 coming up this week. Let's go.
All again, murderation, 911 call it in. Me, I murder every.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime. Back to talk about another serious topic, but my next guest will keep it light for you. I haven't seen him in quite some time. We're here talking about insurance. Milan, welcome back. Great to have you here. Milan is the president and CEO of TK Financial. And let's talk, I love you, the first topic you sent to me was buying insurance versus insurance planning. Why is that so important?
Well, buying insurance is where you just say, okay, I'd like to have a $500,000 policy.
Right.
Is it enough? Is it too much? So when it comes to life insurance, so planning is saying, okay, what are my needs? What do I need to get for burial, mortgages, loans, education for spouse or children, and then continuing income needs. This is our needs analysis where it says, okay, how much per month do I need to live on if that person passes away? And then, of course, what are the assets that we can offset this? So that's planning versus just saying, okay, well, here's $1 million policy.
Do you find too many people do that? They just like,
way too many.
Yeah, and so they don't actually, look at everything and put it all together to figure out what you just described. Types of life insurance, that's another thing we wanted to talk about today because there are different types. Let's first of all talk term life insurance. What does that mean exactly?
Term insurance is, think of it as like a Band-Aid. I need insurance for a certain period of time. A typical term is 10-year, some are 15 and 20-year. They're the most ones that are used. So what it means, after 10 years, you don't have to go through a new medical, however, your premium jumps a lot. Or after 15-year, 20th year.
Okay. And then whole life insurance. What does that mean?
Whole life is basically, as it says, whole life for the rest of your life. You pay a certain premium. It has a cash value component. So the cash value doesn't grow tax-free, as some people say. It grows tax-deferred. So that you're not paying tax while it's growing, and it can be used as an alternate form of investment, different class of investments for certain clients, not everybody.
So tax deferred means then if you did pass away, the person, the beneficiary would have to pay tax on that amount of money?
No, what I'm meaning more, while it's growing inside your policy, there's no tax. So it's growing tax deferred versus some people say tax-free. It's not tax-free. If you cash in the policy, you're paying tax.
What is universal life insurance?
Universal is also a permanent plan where you pay a certain premium. It's typically lower to get into the plan. And you pay that for the rest of your life. Like whole life, you can also prepay these policies, where if you put extra money in, say after 7 or 8 years, the policy carries itself. So universal is another form of permanent insurance. However, it's more hands-on. Where you choose your investment options within it, like any other investment, inside the policy. So you may say, I'll go to a bond fund, I'll go to GICs, I'll go. So you choose your investment, and that should be done on a regular basis.
I don't know if a lot of people realize that insurance can be used in that manner, sort of as an investment, right?
Yeah, it is.
Do you get that question, though, quite often? Like, people are like, really?
Yeah, well, it depends on, our client base is corporate professionals, so often we have clients who'll say, okay, Milan, what can I do with this? Well, you can do this or you can do that. But it's always tailored, that planning thing. And you got to know the tax rules. That's the key. Know the tax rules.
Get a good accountant.
Actually, typically working with an accountant and ourselves, basically, that's what we do. Say, okay, does this fit for this particular client?
You mentioned corporate. So what does corporate-owned insurance mean then?
Corporate owns where the corporation buys your life insurance or critical illness. Critical illness is another product. It's a living benefit. So the corporation owns it, corporation pays it, and the corporation should be the beneficiary. The problem at setup, we've had situations where we do this thing called TK Insurance Audit. It's a fee for service, and you can deal with whoever you want. We did a file, and the client had a $10 million policy. Company owned it, company paid it, and the beneficiary were 6 shareholders individually, which means big tax bill on death, and the client wasn't aware of it.
Mistakes with life insurance structure. I'm sure this is something that you come across all the time. What sort of mistakes do people make when structuring their insurance?
Well, part of it is when you're looking at a shareholder agreement, like I just got one today from a client we're working with. Well, you got to look at who should be the owner, who should be the premium payer, who should be the beneficiary. So, for instance, if the two holding companies own an operating company and the agreement is between the holding companies, they should own the insurance.
Okay.
The other challenge is if the corporation owns the insurance and you happen to die and somebody's suing your corporation, they can attach themselves to that cash, and they will. So that's what I'm talking about, knowing the rules. And certain corporations, it's not an issue. They won't be sued. It's not a probability. Whereas others, it is.
That's interesting. Underwriting life insurance challenges. What do we mean? What's the purpose of that?
Well, the challenges now, as you know, with marijuana use and all that, rules have changed. Whereas before, 41 years ago when I got into business, I've been around, if I had a client who was a lawyer, he would smoke a joint after work every day. Well, he got declined insurance.
I see.
Today, the rules are changed depending on how much you smoke and so forth. Underwriting is not the same, even though we have 16 companies, generally deal with 5. You can get 3 different offers. So underwriting on health, underwriting on heli skiing, backcountry skiing. So those type of things, insurance companies, they look at this and say, okay, what's the probability of this person?
And they'll break it down, right, to make sure that it's proper. Milan, really appreciate the time today. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Celebrate Ottawa returns this fall with brand new episodes starting October 15th. The show features people, places, and events that make Ottawa such a vibrant place to call home. Join us Sunday evenings at 7.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
Ladies, leave your man at home tonight.
Hi, this is Dominique Orley. I'm part of Encore 3, and be sure to catch my set this week.
We are going downtown, leaving out all your stress and your sorrow.
Unbelievable. You just never see that. Oh, what a shot.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Just to reiterate again, hope you had a great long weekend, had a chance to get together with family and friends for Thanksgiving. If you want any of those recipes that Julie Finley and I talked about a little bit earlier on the show, foodlandontario.ca, and you can look it up by category, by foods. It's amazing. I was on it over the weekend to make a Thanksgiving side that Julie had shared on the show last week. So again, highly recommend you check that out. The Signature Show, at the Aberdeen Pavilion at Lansdowne. That's running from October 19th to the 22nd. That's the Signatures Handmade Market. Signatures.ca to get your tickets to find out more information. Celebrating their 40th anniversary, they partnered up with some great local brewers, distilleries, local winery as well. The musicians are going to be there, so you'll have some live performances throughout, so make sure you get out to that. And the RA Center Learn to Wheelchair program, that is coming up beginning on October the 14th, so that is this Saturday. You can check it out online at racenter.com/curling. You can find out all the information, or you can just show up there. The RA Center located on Riverside Drive there. Just a great opportunity to learn the great game of curling. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Daytime.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada. But how much do you know about the city's history? This is Phil Jenkins. Join me as I take you on a journey through Bytown's beginnings, Ottawa's crowning as capital, amalgamation, and its becoming a city of 1 million citizens. Watch The History of Ottawa according to Phil Jenkins exclusively on Rogers TV. Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada. But how much do you know about the city's history?